Number one of the greatest single half performances I've ever seen in basketball. I've fully watched all of Magic, all of Bird, all of Chuck, all of Jordan, Ewing, Olajuwon, all of them. It was one of the best halves. It was in the top 5 best offensive halves of basketball I've ever seen.
It's clear that WNBA fans are shocked by the news of Caitlin Clark's injury. Upset, especially those who paid a lot of money and now can't watch her play. But for the old guard, it's their worst nightmare because even a few weeks without Caitlin will reveal everything they've been trying to hide. In fact, it is already, and a new report shows how important she is to the WNBA's success. Just wait until you see the numbers. We're about to witness the biggest serving of humble pie in sports history. As for Caitlin, there are not one but 2 benefits to her injury that will position her for even greater success when she returns. Let's get started, but first, like this video to wish Caitlin a speedy recovery and subscribe for more fever updates.
I'm gonna say it. Caitlin Clark is the best basketball player in the world. She's the best basketball player that I have ever seen. She is the difference maker. She is the needle mover. She is the face of basketball right now.
So first, let's quickly address the injury itself. It's a left quad strain that'll reportedly sideline her for at least 2 weeks. Part of the reason her injury was so shocking is because Caitlin, despite all the on-court abuse she takes, has been remarkably durable up until her injury. She had played in 185 consecutive regular season and playoff games, 139 with the Hawkeyes and 46 with a fever. So this is new territory. Sure, injuries happen in sports, but when the face of the league is missing, significant time for the first time ever, fans are going to be concerned. The big question right now is how serious is this? The 2+ week timeline suggests that it's a grade 1 strain, which would be the best case scenario for a quick and full recovery. But either way, she's likely going to miss at least 4 games, 2 against the Mystics, 1 against the Sun, and 1 against the Sky. As for the Sky game, it's going to be very interesting to see how many people show up at the 20,000-seat United Center. Now that Caitlin won't be playing, we're already seeing the fallout, and I'll touch on that in a minute. Now, of course, Caitlin's health is number one, but if you're a Fever fan, you probably want to know how this will impact the team. Well, here's your dose of optimism.
Oh, the Indiana Fever are just not fun to watch without Caitlin Clark.
Indiana still has a chance to win these 4 games. It appears that the Fever are making a well-considered decision by resting Caitlin early in the season before the schedule really picks up. They are choosing to protect her now, while the risk is manageable, rather than pushing through and making things worse during a relatively low-stakes stretch, as they did with Sophie Cunningham. This stretch is probably not going to ruin the Fever season.
She better get back soon, because out of sight, out of mind.
Because the season is still young, and the Fever prioritize long-term health over short-term goals. Even though Sophie Cunningham was literally dancing in the background and appeared to be feeling fine, the Fever kept her out. Given that they are big-picture thinkers, I believe they rest her for more than 4 games, so she's likely going to be out for at least 3 weeks. This is their superstar, and they have a veteran supporting cast this year who can step up. But it's still a difficult pill to swallow.
Yeah, I felt like mishandled so many things with the WNBA last season, and specifically with Caitlin Clark and her fan base. And that's one thing when you start thinking about how many people stopped watching when Caitlin Clark got injured. A lot of people stopped watching because they are boycotting the WNBA. They don't want to give viewership to any other teams or any other players, whether they like other players on the team or not, because of how the media and the league itself has handled Caitlin Clark.
Although Caitlin has frequently stated that she only cares about winning, this is disappointing to fans. But it's a sacrifice she will feel comfortable making in order to play at her best when it counts. As far as the long-term outlook goes, again, this doesn't seem to be a serious long-term injury. Many had predicted that Caitlin would be among the favorites to win MVP this season, but missing 4 to 6 games will seriously hurt her chances.
You fans are sucking the life out of the WNBA right now.
While we're being told that this isn't the same injury that hindered her during training camp, it's possible that Caitlin, being a competitor, was playing through her quad pain until it finally reached the point where she needed to take time off. If she was performing well on a bummed leg, just picture her at full health. This is the first silver lining. She's probably going to recover better, meaning she's already shooting threes in practice. Based on what we're witnessing, this isn't a doomsday scenario for Caitlin. Rather, it's a speed bump. To understand the second silver lining, we need to consider the injury's wider impact and the reason the WNBA is in panic mode.
Open. 1 second left. Clark doesn't get the shot off. Cloud locks her up.
Caitlin Clark will likely miss the June 7th game against the Sky, which was moved from Winrust Arena to the United Center, which is literally twice as large, to accommodate the demand for Fever games. Let's be honest, though, this move wasn't about Indiana. Rather, it was about Caitlin. The WNBA is about to experience life without Caitlin Clark for the first time, and it won't be pleasant.
This was an unbelievable ass-kicking by Caitlin.
The main concern now is whether or not fans will attend, as within hours of the announcement, supporters are already selling out of their tickets due to Caitlin Clark's departure.
And Cunningham is down behind the play, but they've got Caitlin Clark. Two players with incredible up. Clark, another long three. She's back.
However, TV viewership will be the thing that everyone is keeping a careful eye on. With 2.7 million spectators, the first Fever Sky game was a huge success for the WNBA Fever. The league's most viewed games have always been Sky matchups, but without Caitlin, those ratings would drastically decline, and Caitlin Clark supporters are already making their predictions.
3 threes in 38 seconds in the first half. Caitlin Clark hit 3 logo bombs, by the way. 3 logo bombs in 38 seconds. This was the Caitlin Clark we all said, oh, she's different. She's sent from outer space. The Caitlin Clark that we saw today was the Caitlin Clark that we were accustomed to seeing. Oh, it feels good, folks.
It's not unusual for WNBA games without Caitlin to receive only 1/3 of the viewership, let alone the league. Some of the league's leadership and veteran players have acted quite haughtily as though they are the reason for all the growth, but they are about to face the harsh reality that fans will vote with their money, their eyes, and their remote controls. If you don't think that, just take a look at what was announced just before the injury news broke.
Caitlin Clark show is very real, and Caitlin Clark's ability to rise to the moment and put on a show is remarkable.
There's just like a certain star quality and like star power there, but it takes you being confident enough, willing enough to be like, oh no, I know what you want. Come here. I'm going to give it to you. I loved it so.
The same analyst who claimed that 26.5% of the WNBA's overall revenue in 2024 was due to Caitlin Clark has just published a new report on her impact in 2025, and the figures are mind-blowing. They not only validate her significance to the league, but they also reveal that we're discussing a single player whose presence is essentially changing the WNBA's entire business model. Caitlin Clark's value to the WNBA this season could surpass $1 billion, according to Ryan Brewer, a valuation expert who has been closely monitoring the league's expansion. That's probably a conservative estimate.
Your players clearing out that side of the floor, shooting on Stewie, and then watch the reaction with one another. Stewie's laughing. Caitlin knows it's ridiculous. Just out there having a good time with.
The analysis considers all factors, including television viewership, ticket sales, item sales, sponsorships, and social media involvement. And it comes to the unavoidable conclusion that one player may have an economic impact of over $1 billion. Caitlin Clark is not one of the WNBA's drivers, but rather its primary financial force.
Stewie's face, and Stewie couldn't help but laugh. Couldn't help but laugh. Caitlin Clark letting her have it. And folks, look at Sandy Brondello. Sandy Brondello can't even hate. Sandy, you can hate. You need to appreciate, folks.
The reason is straightforward, and it explains why the WNBA is currently in turmoil. They're going to experience firsthand what life would be like without Caitlin Clark, the crossover star the league has been pursuing for decades. The analysis now demonstrates that she is the one who brings in the casuals.
Caitlin Clark just scored 25 points, and the quarters in the WNBA are shorter, not as long, as the quarters in the NBA.
This is similar to what happened with Tiger Woods in the 1990s, when he first came on the scene. He brought a level of athleticism, charisma, and dominance that the sport had never seen before. His historic victory at the 1997 Masters, where he became the first black golfer to win the tournament and did so by a record-breaking margin, attracted enormous international attention and marked the beginning of a new era for golf television ratings, which frequently doubled whenever Tiger was in contention. Tiger wasn't just a star, he was the reason casual viewers tuned in. He transformed golf from a specialized country club sport to a global spectator event, and the money followed. As sponsors and advertisers flocked to take advantage of the Tiger effect, the prize money on the tour tripled in a matter of years. This was not because golfers got better, but rather because Tiger made golf important, and Caitlin Clark is now doing just that for the WNBA. Just take a look at the revenue impact from her exhibition match against Brazil.
The shooting from Howard, Boston, and Kelsey. Kelsey started making a bit of a comeback shooting, but at one point, she was awful in this game. I mean, her shooting percentage was I believe 22% on like 14 attempts or something. It was bad.
Yet it's only been one game. Now, actual reports regarding her impact on the Fever organization in only one season are beginning to surface, and it's completely crazy.
Chelsea Mitchell was plus 21, Aaliyah was plus 10. They went on a run in the fourth quarter without Caitlin Clark. And a big reason for that, if I'm going to criticize her when things are bad, I'm going to praise her when things are good. Because Sid Colson did exactly what she was meant to do. She did exactly what she was meant to do. And what she did was push the pace, play aggressive defense, and run.